Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to first say thank you to Jackie Joyner-Kersee, just an amazing role model for all of us, and someone who has been very generous in allowing us to come to the center many, many times during the last 2 years, and I just very much appreciate your hosting us once again. I also want to thank Mayor Robert Eastern, Pastor Granger, St. Clair County Board Chair Mark Kern, and St. Clair's Executive Director of Intergovernmental Grants and Economic Development, Rick Stubblefield, for joining us today. It is great to be back here at the Jackie Joyner-Kersee Center and to be here with so many champions who make Illinois safe and affordable as a place to live for all people. I want to recognize my friend, Senator Christopher Belt, and on behalf of my administration, joining us today are Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, Illinois Housing Development Authority Executive Director Kristen Faust, and Illinois Department of Human Services Secretary Grace Ho. Earlier today, I signed the COVID-19 Federal Emergency Rental Assistance Program Act into law, paving the way for the Illinois Rental Payment Program, which will help to keep tens of thousands of Illinoisans in their homes, those who have struggled financially during this pandemic. Illinois is expanding rental relief to $1.5 billion. That's nearly 4 times the amount that was available just last year. The Illinois Rental Payment Program will ensure more than 120,000 household renters see relief, with more renters potentially being touched in the future, too. Any eligible resident who rents their home, is behind on payments, and experienced financial hardship in the pandemic is eligible to apply for up to $25,000 in rental assistance paid directly to their housing provider or their landlord. Rent assistance is only one piece of today's announcement, though. Later this summer, we'll provide an additional $400 million on top of the $1.5 billion to renters, but this time for mortgage assistance. That means struggling homeowners can get relief too. And that's not all. I'm also pleased to announce today that Illinois will be replenishing our utility assistance programs, which include help with housing, utilities, and legal assistance. Secretary Ho is here today to speak more about that in just a few moments. And you'll also hear from IDA Director Kristen Faust. As a reminder, to date, more than 260,000 households have received $280 million in benefits through DCEO's utility assistance programs already so far, and with additional funding available through those programs and the DHS counterparts, thousands more families will be able to access relief going forward. Last year, the Illinois Housing Development Authority designed, implemented, and launched one of the largest emergency housing assistance programs in the entire nation in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We were the best in the nation at getting relief into the pockets of landlords and homeowners in 2020. By delivering assistance more efficiently and quickly, we were able to make the difference for our residents when it mattered most. Between the emergency rental assistance and the emergency mortgage assistance programs, totaling over $329 million, last year, Illinois helped over 56,000 households and families keep their homes during the pandemic. Rental assistance reached over 1,000 renters in St. Clair County alone, thanks in large part to Community Lifeline's CEO, Yvette Granger, a wonderful advocate for area residents who I will introduce momentarily. Let's not forget that even before the pandemic, over 70% of extremely low-income families in Illinois were dedicating more than half of their income to rent. Then, in the face of the pandemic, many suddenly found themselves in greater need after being laid off, having their workplace close, or being required to stay home with children or immunocompromised family members. I'd like to ask the media that are here today to help us spread the word. The new funding available in our rental assistance program allows many more families to receive help. Renters in need of assistance can work with their landlords to go online and apply right now at illinoishousinghelp.org, illinoishousinghelp.org. The program has a maximum income limit for applicants of 80% of the area median income. In line with our recovery and with this massive new round of assistance, we will work with our partners to bring to an end the eviction moratorium in August, with a gradual phase out over the next few months, with more details to come. The Illinois Rental Assistance Program is a testament to how good government can make a life-changing difference for people when our dollars follow our values. This program expansion will allow us to take that impact to new heights for tens of thousands of Illinoisans. So with that, I am very proud to turn it over to a passionate advocate for housing stability and someone who has made an enormous difference in the lives of local residents, and that's the CEO of Community Lifeline, Wyvetta Granger. Wyvetta?
Thank you, Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, Senator Duckworth, Director Fox, Secretary Ho, County Board Chairman Mark Kern, and all the other elected officials and advocates here today. My name is Wyvetta Granger. I am the CEO of Community Lifeline Family Resource Center here in East St. Louis, Illinois. It has been our honor and our pleasure to support and to serve families in our community. We began our mission with simply trying to meet the needs of the residents of our community by offering summer camps, winter break camps, and other job training and educational programs for youth and adults in our community. When COVID hit, it exposed how many people were barely getting by. For the first time in a long time, people from all aspects of life were in need of assistance, and some for the first time in their lives. The amount of personal trauma that we saw was very challenging. People felt anxious and desperate. They didn't know who or where to turn for assistance. In the beginning of the pandemic, I remember a young lady calling us. Her husband had been recently unemployed, and she had to come home because her children were now forced to remote learning. And they had never needed assistance before. They were traumatized and didn't know if hope or help was available. I am proud to stand here today to work with Governor Pritzker and Ida to help assure that this assistance get out the door and into the hands of landlords and to families who can stay in their homes. These resources are undoubtedly life-changing. As mentioned before, the family that I mentioned, they only were able to stay in their homes because of assistance that were allowed from our government. Since this bill has passed, we've been telling everyone, help is coming. It's coming, I promise you it's coming. Well, today I am excited and proud to announce that help is here, and we are excited to be able to offer help. Before coming to this space here today, we had already seen two landlords who were applying for assistance. And today we have another 6 on schedule to apply for assistance. This time last year and this year and a half has been a very rough year. But what I've seen is organizations and our community come together like never before, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. Thank you again for the opportunity to share, Governor Pritzker and Ida for the opportunity to serve, and we are excited to be a part of this organization and this opportunity. At this time, I would like to bring to the podium Lieutenant Governor Stratton.
Thank you so much, Wybetta, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you as well, Wybetta, for the incredible outreach work that's being done by the Community Lifeline in the space of helping people seek rental assistance. It was great to hear you talk about landlords already applying for this assistance. So thank you for all you've done to get the word out. Thank you as well to Governor Pritzker for your compassionate and visionary leadership. A day like today is just another example of your dedicated commitment to lifting up every single community in our state. It is awesome to be here today with so many strong advocates for housing justice, which Governor Pritzker has already acknowledged. And so in the interest of time, I'll just say thank you. Thank you for your leadership, and it's always an honor to do work alongside of you. I do, of course, want to acknowledge Senator Belt and all of my friends in the Illinois General Assembly, my former colleagues. I especially want to lift up the chief sponsors of House Bill 2877, Leader Delia Ramirez and Leader Omar Aquino in their absence, as well as all of the members of the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus who continue to diligently pursue justice, equity, and opportunity for all Illinoisans. And of course, it is always great to be back here in East St. Louis at the Jackie Joyner Kersee Community Center that has a vision for empowering youth to win in life. We know that Jackie Joyner Kersee is a hometown hero, but we also know that she's loved all across the globe, and she inspires me every single day. And you know what really helps our young people win in life? Stable housing. Do you know where you're going to sleep tonight? Many people don't. And the people who don't live in our cities, in our suburbs, in our rural communities. And yes, housing is about shelter, but it's about so much more than just having a roof over your head. Housing is about feeling safe. It's about being able to meet the needs of your children. It's about feeling settled. Housing is about building community and having a home base. Housing is health care. And we saw this throughout this pandemic. Because of COVID-19, life changed. Jobs disappeared. Childcare has not been as readily available. People were forced to pivot to try to find a way to pay rent and mortgages while also struggling to keep themselves and their family members healthy and safe. And sometimes the money just wasn't there. So many, all across the state and disproportionately in Black, brown, and indigenous communities, told us these words: we're just trying to make it. Well, we're here today because not only do we want you to make it, we want you to thrive. And that starts with keeping a roof over your head. And thanks to federal funding and today's signing of House Bill 2877 into law, more families across Illinois are able to do just that. Now, others will speak in detail about who can apply and how, but we cannot underestimate the importance of today's bill signing. Housing stability leads to family and community stability. And as I said, housing is health care. And because being housing insecure takes an incredible toll, not just on one's physical health, but also one's mental health, we know that it's not just adults that are impacted, but also children. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So there's no better time to let families here in Illinois know that relief is here for the stress and the anxiety of facing eviction in the midst of a global pandemic. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be your healthiest selves, and I urge all eligible Illinoisans to apply for this assistance today at illinoishousinghelp.org. Thank you again to the members of the General Assembly for your leadership, and thank you, Governor Pritzker, for signing this bill into law today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Kristen Faust, Executive Director of the Illinois Housing Development Authority. Kristen?
Thank you. And on behalf of the Illinois Housing Development Authority and Board and staff, I'd like to thank Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, members of the General Assembly, and staff and leadership of St. Clair County, and our elected officials in Washington, D.C. for making this emergency rental assistance program possible. It is true the economy is improving, but there are still many families continue to face financial hardship caused by the pandemic. And in fact, the latest household pulse survey shows that there are over 300,000 renters in Illinois right now who still are not quite sure how they'll pay next month's rent. To make matters worse, communities of color have disproportionately suffered the health and economic impact of COVID-19, including housing insecurity. We cannot allow the recovery to leave anyone behind as we work to create an Illinois that truly serves all its people and houses all its people. Fair and equitable access to rental assistance is crucial to keeping our most vulnerable families stably housed. And so for the past several months, IDA has been working tirelessly to develop a program that fairly and effectively reaches Illinois renters hardest hit by COVID-19. You heard it. It starts today. It opens today. Illinois landlords and tenants can apply, and the landlord starts the application for up to $25,000 in rent relief from the program, and you can get to that application by going to illinoishousinghelp.org. The program is available to renters in all 102 Illinois counties. It offers up to 15 months of assistance. It covers going all the way back to June of 2020 and going forward to August of 21. And this assistance is a grant. It does not have to be repaid. I do want to mention to the advocates, elected officials, and others who provided feedback after last year's program that we heard you, and to ensure equity and transparency in this year's program, IDA is not requiring or mandating an actual lease. Applicants will have the ability to check their status of their application online. Should tenants have an unresponsive landlord, there will be a route for the tenant to apply directly instead of starting with the landlord. And finally, it's important to know that the IRPP program is available to all eligible renters in Illinois, regardless of immigration status, that the assistance is not a public charge benefit. So the application portal opens today, that it's going to be open for about 4 weeks. The application begins with the landlord and then is completed by the tenant, and we encourage that landlords and tenants start communicating with each other, get your information together, and please apply as soon as possible. For those who need help, we have amazing organizations like Community Lifeline, run by Wyvetta, here locally to help you, to answer questions, to maybe help you if you're not sure about the application. And this help is free. So, and lastly, I would just like to end by saying that the economic fallout caused by COVID-19 has really highlighted the fundamental role of housing in keeping families safe, stable, and healthy. Governor Pritzker has been clear that every action we take to persevere through this crisis and beyond it must include doing all that we can to create a more just and equitable state where there's opportunity for everyone. I want to close by saying help is here for Illinois renters and landlords, and we will work really hard to distribute these funds as quickly as possible. Please remember to visit illinoishousinghelp.org to get started. And now I want to introduce my colleague, sister agency. We're working together to get this rental assistance funds out the door and to help those who need it most. I'd like to introduce Secretary Grace Ho of DHS.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for your leadership and unwavering commitment to keeping Illinoisans safe and sound. We've been able to protect and accomplish a great deal these past 2 years, and especially these past 15 months, and is due to your extraordinary commitment to health and human services and the people of Illinois. I am pleased to be here this afternoon to lift up the array of programs that the state of Illinois has woven together to help residents in the communities stay in their homes. We know that this community has experienced great hardships due to COVID-19, and we also know that many community members go to their local trusted leaders when they need help. The state of Illinois, our department, the Department of Human Services, has made significant targeted investments to grassroots partners to support community members in a variety of ways. In partnership with IDA's Illinois Rental Payment Program, the Illinois Department of Human Services is extending and expanding upon our existing investments through our Housing Help Program. We want you to know that help is here. So in addition to financial rental supports, residents can access case management, financial counseling, as well as other housing stability services. In addition, we have created legal assistance services to educate individuals and families and to provide legal representation if they need it. Working with local partners here, Call for Help, Catholic Urban Programs, Salvation Army St. Louis, and CDBG Operations Corporations, thank you for your partnership. You are pillars who are proudly serving this community, as well as dozens of other organizations over all counties in Illinois over the past many years. DHS is working to meet families where they are with what they need, and we are partnering with community-based organizations and other faith-based institutions as well to offer financial help with rental assistance, utilities, and legal aid to address immediate and long-term housing instability and homelessness. So if you or someone you know needs help, you can find resources in a community near you at illinoishousinghelp.org. We are committed to equitable policies and practices that focus on those who are most impacted by COVID-19 and to the communities most vulnerable to experiencing homelessness. I am extremely grateful for the chance to collaborate with our sister agencies, IDA, as well as DCEO, on this extraordinary effort, and I'm so proud to carry out Governor Pritzker's charge to bring this opportunity to the people of Illinois. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our partner in the General Assembly, Senator Christopher Belt. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. With protocol already being established, I want to take a moment, first of all, to again thank the governor for signing this piece of legislation into law. This is huge. We know the impacts of COVID. We see them on TV each and every day. We know the toll that it's taking. But one of the aspects of COVID is that we really don't see is the impact that it has on the ability to have your rent paid up to date, keep it up to date. And as humans, it's in our very DNA to have the very foundational, basic, we need shelter. Shelter, home, as Lieutenant Governor spoke to earlier, it's bigger than just having a roof over your head. It defines who we are. It has something to do with our self-esteem. It's our base, it's our foundation. From home, from where we are, we can go out into the world. From home, we can take a shower and go out and apply for a job. From home. And so we're doing phenomenal things in terms of the vaccination, but the true beyond the vaccination, as we do this recovery, we have to focus on shelter, food and shelter. The two very basic things that we need and that we've always needed as humans. And so this bill signing, this bill becoming law is huge, right? It's huge. And to underscore several things that have been said today, it is not a loan. You do not have to pay this back. By today being the deadline for filing your taxes, you don't even have to claim it on your taxes, right? This is two things. you have to have access to a computer and Wi-Fi to get online to do it. Unfortunately, you have to have that, right? You have to go online, you have to be able to track it, and in most instances, you work with your landlord to start the race off, right? Whatever funding will come out of it, it goes directly to the landlord. So this is a win-win situation. I can't tell you the amount of phone calls I've received from landlords about payment or not being able to evict or put a renter out, right? This goes directly to them. This is the best case scenario. And through no fault of their own, because of COVID, because of jobs shut down or loss of jobs, or because you had to stay at home, because you have a young one at home, or you're caring for an elderly parent or someone in your home who has a compromised immune system, things happen. You fell behind on your rent. This is a wonderful, wonderful program. And I would just urge, the portal has opened up today, as it's been said several times. I think it stays open to June 7th. It stays open to June 7th. Tell someone about it. This is one of the unique situations where media and all of us need to just hammer that point home. Every paper, social media, news program, news programs, you put it out there. People need to know that they need to apply today, and that there's only a set time that they have, and that they need to go out and apply. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it works. So with that being said, I don't want to take up any more time. It is my honor, it is my privilege, again, to bring back the governor of this great state of Illinois to finish out the program. Thank you.
Happy to take questions from members of the media.
Yeah, so at least 120,000 people are going to be implementing this way. Do you have any idea how many people in Illinois are eligible to apply in the first place?
I'll ask, did you hear the question? How many people total are eligible to apply? There are 120,000 that will receive.
We estimate.
Maybe come up to the mic if you don't mind.
Well, the best data we have is that Pulse survey, which does say there's over 300,000 renters that aren't sure how they're going to pay their rent. That's done by the U.S. Census. We can't say for certain whether all of them would be eligible. Your income does have to be at 80% or below of median income for your area, but we think that this program will make a good dent in that number. And in the meantime, the economy is getting stronger, people are getting jobs again, unemployment's going down, and that we might really be able to solve this thing.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Do you think there's enough time, June 7th, when the portal closes? Do you think that's long enough to use all these funds for housing?
I do. I think that there's, first of all, there's a great deal of demand out there for it. I wanted to reiterate something, though, that not only IllinoisHousingHelp.org is one way to get help, but Wyvetta's organization and many other local community organizations can help somebody who may not have Wi-Fi or a computer. They're ready to take a call or take a visit and help somebody who needs to get online and sign up and connect with their landlord. I know that there are many tenants who may not have spoken with their landlord in quite some time, and many landlords who may be upset that their tenant hasn't been able to pay. And so it's important for us to bring them together, for them to talk to one another, and sometimes the easiest way to do that is through a local organization like Wyvetta's.
25,000, is that the cap per?
Yes.
Per applicant?
Per applicant, that's right.
For rent only? Does it help with any utilities or anything like that?
Utility help is on top of that. There's additional help, as I was talking about earlier, from funds both at DHS and DCEO also operates utility help. So those will work together. Many people have the same problem, haven't been able to pay rent, haven't been able to pay their utilities. Finally, there's real relief coming.
How long will the process take once you send the application off?
Again, how long will the process take?
We're estimating up to 90 days.
So, yeah, could be as much as 90 days, depending upon, I think, how complex the situation may be. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
This program aside,
Yeah.
Friday you shifted to the bridge phase. Just
Yeah.
a bigger picture on COVID-19 and
Yes.
response to the state of Illinois.
Yes.
It's only been 3 days. But have you seen anything you still feel like you're on track for June 11th? You think the day when, hallelujah, we're kind of as close to normal as we've been?
We do. I'm glad you asked the question. As you know, the 28-day period, that's 2 incubation periods together, that 28 days, is why we're in this bridge phase, right? We want to make sure that everything is, in fact, heading the right direction. So far, so good. In fact, today we reported under 1,000 cases from yesterday's testing. We like to look at multi-day averages to really see how it's going. Everything is moving in the right direction. New hospital admissions are going down, and total numbers of people with COVID in hospitals is going down. That's all great news for Illinois, and you've seen this across the nation, I might add. I'm pleased that it's also happening here, but I was concerned, I must say. As you know, we saw the numbers going up in March, and we also had Michigan as an example of, it could get really bad. But fortunately, we, had only a mild bump upward, watching it very closely, and now all looks good.
I'm not feeling comfortable about taking your mask off. This section of Illinois especially, you go across the river and a lot of communities are maskless everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's determined by the businesses. And you'll find people just don't feel, I was at church this weekend and we didn't have to wear them, but most people did just because they're still not comfortable taking them off.
Yeah.
Is that going to, will there be an adjustment time there, or you think?
I think there will.
Good taking your mask off?
Look, I think there will be an adjustment period. I mean, you see, I came into this room wearing a mask. We should. There are a number of us in this room just to keep each other safe. But the fact is that people who've been vaccinated really are being protected. That's what the studies are showing. We're protected against the variants so far, and that's great news. People who aren't vaccinated, however, are unprotected, can give it to each other. Those who've been vaccinated don't seem to carry the virus and shed it to other people. Those who are unvaccinated, unfortunately, can and do. So I hope that everybody will take the encouragement of the CDC guidelines, where those of us who are vaccinated can take our masks off outdoors and indoors with other people who are vaccinated. Those who aren't vaccinated still need to keep their masks on. So I think we're in the right phase here. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. I have to admit, for myself, I said this earlier today, that this morning, I think it was my first work day, walking out my front door, not already wearing my mask, based upon the CDC guidelines. And I was carrying my mask, I admit, in my hand as I walked out, a little uncomfortable. It's going to take a little adjustment. Listen, we've been doing this, all of us, for 14 or more months. And so what do they say? It only takes about 3 or 4 weeks to develop a habit about something. 14 months. I think we've all developed what has been a good habit for saving people's lives. Now I think we're going to start to have a ramp down of mask wearing. Again, those who are unvaccinated, please get vaccinated. I would rather that you didn't have to wear a mask and instead you were just protected with a vaccine.
Will there be updates to your executive order about mask wearing?
This will be our last question.
Yes. So the question was about updates to our mask order and to our executive orders. Yes, we're working on all of those. As you know, there are a number of pieces of that, including the JCAR rule for businesses, and that needs to be rescinded. There will be a change to our executive order, but we intend in Illinois to follow the CDC guidelines that have been laid out, and again, encourage everybody to get vaccinated. So thank you.